Blind Guardian here at Heavy Montreal. Pleasure to have you here, by the way.
Honor to be here.
Yeah, now I just saw your live stream from Wacken. You flew right over that. It's got to be exciting to play those big festivals.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's probably the most important weekend of the whole year, maybe of the whole touring cycle. Wacken was a big success. We played there at nighttime, prime time.
Prime time, that's
That
right.
was pretty cool. And yeah, I'm just anxious to see what's going to happen here. We play around 5, I think, and we only have 45 minutes. That's quite unusual for us.
It's a bit short. Now, the band has a whole bunch of releases scheduled, live album, orchestral album, all kinds of stuff. So let's talk about that first. This famous orchestral album that you've been working on for years or months or whatever, when do you think we might see that?
The better Chinese democracy. Yeah. I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? Well, yeah, hey, but Chinese Democracy is a great album. People
It
give it
is.
a chance.
It is. It took a while.
Right.
And that's hopefully the same with Blind Guardian's album. It is a great album and people have to give it a little time, We started working on it in 1998 and I was convinced it's going to be released in 2003, 2004. We had 2 songs which had a sort of Nightfall in Middle-earth vibe, but they were just, composed for orchestra and vocals.
Yeah.
And we somehow liked the idea and just thought, having them on Nightfall, that does not really fit into a certain way, even though it's total Tolkienish music. We came up with the idea, okay, we work on songs and we're going to release this album 5 years later and only with orchestra and vocals. 2016 and we're still not there. But we have composed the songs. That's the big issue.
The big issue.
They're all there and we did a lot of recordings for the orchestra already, but I did not do the vocals. I was scheduled for February, March 2016 already to start, but then we have had some other missions and I had to postpone it. Once we finished the Northern American tour in October this year, I will work, and that's a promise, on the orchestral vocals. And
what's the challenge in making an orchestral album? Because the other one you plug in, you get the guitars, the drums, but here it's bigger in scope, bigger in everything, right?
They just came by, they just came along, and we liked the idea, and we found a new field, new dimensions to compose and be creative. And we felt, well, even though it's classical music, it turns into Blind Guardian music completely. You will not, have a big issue in realizing at the first moment that's Blind Guardian playing orchestral music. And we like scores, we like soundtracks. We partly like classical music, but we are no pundits, for sure not. But this maybe is the exotic thing about it. We just do what we like, and I think we have been really good in composing these songs, and they will give us the opportunity to spread to new masses. So that's a...
And maybe you can get Axl Rose to do a guest vocal since
Maybe, because it's characters singing. I don't know if he's interested, but yeah, that's the second step. First, I do all the vocals, and that's a challenge when we do the stuff live. But the idea for later on would be, having that whole stuff sung by a different vocalist and making my part minor to a certain extent, but yeah, why not? Axl Rose would be an honor.
Now, you mentioned the tour. You're going to do the Imaginations album in full. Talk to me a little bit about that album and what it meant in the career of the band.
It's important. For the first time we come by in October and do a second leg of a Northern American tour. We have never done that before. To make that more exciting, we just felt, well, it doesn't make sense to play the whole songs we have played last time. Which chances do we have to have a high variety in songs? Right. And Imaginations, which is a highly appreciated album by the people.
Right. Like it was top 300, top 500 albums as by, what was the list by Blabbermouth or something?
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Yeah. But yeah, I know amongst Blind Guardian fans, it is, along with Nightfall in Middle-earth and maybe, I don't know, At the Edge of Time or so, the Blind Guardian album. And it's a very intense album, so it has the qualities to be performed in a row, other than Nightfall or Night at the Opera, which would be very, very difficult and would take too much attention from us, and need a lot of preparation. Imaginations is something we can do fairly quickly, set up in a smooth way, and it will be appreciated by the people, and
Yes.
they will have, even though it's done in one row, it will be the typical live feeling. I do not like concept shows too much if it becomes too theatrical, and the people just stay and watch a show. That's not Blind Guardian. Blind Guardian,
Right.
Depends on the audience and with the imagination.
Well, it has to be interactive with
Yes.
a Blind Guardian audience.
I
Because otherwise
truly
it
believe.
becomes a Broadway show, and that
Yeah, not now. Maybe with the orchestral album,
Yeah.
we never know. But with the regular Blind Guardian shows, I don't see that. And Imaginations has the quality to deliver both.
it was the last album you played bass on. Are you going to go back to playing some bass or no?
No, would have been nice. I haven't even thought about it. And during that time,
People are going to say it doesn't sound like the right bass now,
Yeah, but Barend is so much better than I am, so it will sound much, much better.
Talk to me about that decision to stop playing bass and just focus on the vocals. I mean, you look at Paul McCartney and Sting; they do it both. You decided to go, let's do vocals only. Why that decision? And have you ever thought back and said, oh, maybe I should have played bass on it here and there?
No. When we did Imaginations, I didn't like to do the bass anymore because I was not prepared. When we went to the studio, I kept my focus on the vocals already.
Okay.
And it was really, really hard toil for me to, get on the same level the others were. I didn't even get it at that point. And this was the key point where I said, well, we do the tour, but I don't do the bass for Nightfall in Middle Earth or for the next upcoming album. I won't. And I never regretted that one because I felt that I was so occupied with vocals and the arrangements
Has it
became
made
more
you a
difficult.
better vocalist in the sense that you can focus
Yes.
on? Okay.
Yes. But the frontman part is a different thing. I jumped into the cold water and I got a
Or
cold.
the hot fire too, yeah.
I got a cold in the beginning because I didn't know what to do with my hands.
Right.
Still, it's something I'm working on, but this was something I have not had in mind when, I gave up the bass because I thought, well, I go on stage and I have a certain personality, but, if you're naked on stage,
Well, that's it. You
you're
sort of
naked.
feel naked because you had
Totally.
something to do,
Totally.
and then you're like, oh, I can put them in my pocket.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do?
What am I supposed to do with these, And yeah, they are long, by the way.
Very long.
And yeah, they are very long. And this was something I later on realized. It takes a lot of time to get into the position of a frontman without an instrument.
Well, so what makes a good frontman for you then? Because you sort of have to learn the craft, right?
Yes.
If people think in high school, I'm singing, but no, I mean...
Well, maybe the people who think so, they are right, because, if it's a part of your nature, then it might
Right.
turn out to be easier. Like Bruce Dickinson, he is that sort
right,
of
or
frontman.
David Lee Roth, or...
Yeah, even more. Yeah, he is the
He is the showman.
he is the entertainer, and Dickinson is both the metal vocalist
Yes.
and a very good entertainer. And his expressions are great. And I saw these two guys, and I knew from the beginning that's not me. And I don't want to adapt anyway. So I had to find my own way, and my personality is a little more natural, I have to say. And I needed to get along with it. And of course, there were confusions and misunderstandings by myself and the audience. But now I think it works pretty good. I can do the talking job pretty good, and I could that from the beginning, even when I did the basings, the bass lines. So the communication has never been my problem, but the body expression, and I still work on that. And relaxing is the main point, not pushing yourself too far and not, trying to be something which I'm obviously not. That took a while, just to figure, how to bring that abroad, without looking cheesy and without, betraying yourself or denying yourself. And
now we got the wrap-up sign, so I'll finish with these. There's also a Blind Guardian live album that's being
Yes.
put together, and the last album was 2015. So where are we in terms of next studio album beyond orchestral and beyond the live, in terms of proper Blind Guardian album? Where are we in that process?
okay, live album would be 2018. That's pretty.
2018. Okay.
That's no 17. We're in 16.
2017.
Sorry,
Right.
18 is the orchestral album. I'm getting mixed up. but I haven't had a lot of sleep. So
Okay.
17 the live album, 18 the orchestral album.
Okay.
That's scheduled, even with the
No,
companies.
we're gonna hold you to it. Go on, you
Yeah.
got to get it done. It's been too long. But in a proper studio album,
2020. Yeah.
that far down.
Yeah, maybe 19, but I'm fine if we're there in 2020 then, because
Absolutely.
it's going to take too long. The orchestral stuff keeps us away from songwriting for
Right.
at least 12 months.
And you're gonna have to tour it. It's important.
With the orchestral album, no. We do a few shows, not a lot. It's too difficult to do a
Sure.
regular tour with it. So
But maybe do it like festivals, like a
Maybe
Wacken show and Heavy Montreal show.
for
A
example,
little
yes.
unique, yeah.
Yeah, we have to find a way to do that because having an orchestra with you and on stage, detuned instruments. I think it's organic instruments is always a little difficult, but we'll find a way. But yeah, that's what we have in mind. Playing some festivals, maybe 4 or 5 indoor shows, and as I said, maybe it's better to do that with different vocalists because if I did everything by myself, it would be
Very complicated.
complicated and I
Great
don't know.
pleasure. Great pleasure talking to you. Very much
Likewise.
looking forward to it
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you.